Collins,
Present.
Commissioner Stady,
Present.
and Commissioner Shea is present. We have a quorum. Number 3, approval of the minutes of the open session meeting of April 21st. We have a motion, please.
I'll move.
Motion.
Okay, yeah. I'll move approval.
Thank you.
Second.
Second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor of approving the April 21st, 2021 open session meetings? Minutes? Aye, that's unanimous. Motion to approve the open session minutes of April 28th, 2021.
Mr. Chairman, if you could table those for another week.
A motion to table. the
Motion.
open- Seconded. All in favor of tabling April 28th minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Minutes of the executive session of April 28th for approval, not to be released at this time.
So moved.
Second.
Seconded.
Yep.
All in favor of approving the executive session minutes of the meeting of April 28th, 2021?
Aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Public comments section. Any public comment? Have you heard from anyone? Michelle or Bill?
I have not.
Okay, thank you. Number 7, facilities maintenance capital improvement report and coronavirus update. John McGowan, please.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
John.
I'll be very brief because I do not have much to say about. There was no capital improvement report that I need to make, and the COVID-19 report is also negative. We didn't have any reports of anything in the courtrooms. I'll let you know about I got a phone call from Chris McQuaid about Stoughton Court. He wanted to know what was going on with that, and I told him that the material was audited, and there's nothing really can be done until we get the material on site and remove the other units and put the new units up. Other than that, there's nothing we can do there. They might be able to remove the old ones first and block off and cover up the openings, but then you have a chance of water getting in or anything. I wouldn't recommend that, but if they do it right, it'd be a good idea to speed the job along. When the new ones come in, you could just swap them right up there. Other than that, I don't have much. That's about it. If you have any questions, I'll try and answer.
Commissioners, any questions of John?
Well, yeah, quick on that through you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
So on the Stoughton Court, which again, we know it's critical to take care of it. Do you recommend doing some preliminary work, John? Would that make sense? Under your,
Well,
get it tough
that
out?
could be done. I don't know what the contractor's plans are, but
Could you check
it
with
would
him?
speed it up a little bit. That'd be all done before the new units arrive.
Right. Could we ask you politely to check with him and coordinate that maybe, just to move it along a little bit? It's been kind of dragging, if we could. Check
Oh,
with-
I'll look into it.
Okay,
Yes, I will.
thank you.
Commissioner Collins.
I'm all set. Thank you, John.
So John, one more time, I don't want, we don't, the heat exchangers aren't been delivered yet.
The Resnors,
The Resnors, okay.
no.
So we
they've been
can't put
ordered.
them until we get them.
That's the thing those are the things that were a 5-year,
Right,
6-year wait.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something like they have on a shelf there. It's going to take time to order them, and we had a slowdown on ordering them, but everything seems to be. I think that was rectified, and they were ordered, as far as I know. So it should be. I talked to McQuaid. I told McQuaid probably sometime in July. I figured it'd probably be in the middle of July. Hopefully before then. I also told him that. And I don't know who was asking for him, who he was asking for, but that's, I'm sure it was somebody from Stoughton Court wanted to know.
well, okay, but we're on top of it. I want to stay on top of it because this is an old chestnut. And,
Oh, yeah, that definitely, it's something that we need to get done, and I also had, supposed to be a meeting here Friday with, over in District Court. It's about that Teague, they're from the state too, to check the air quality. That they're doing it in all our courthouses, and, so far I haven't heard anything, any report back. I know they were, in Quincy last week,
mhm.
and, I still have that problem with the judge with the mold. She's allergic to mold in the juvenile court.
And they were gonna
So I
send
reached
someone
out-
out to look at it.
Yeah, that's what I was told by McQuaid, but they looked at the air quality of the, that we just had all done. We just had it all done. And they were there Friday, I believe. And, I haven't got a report back from anybody, but I reached out to Scott Nell and with the state about getting a couple of air purifiers for Judge Sable down there. That's the woman, the judge in probation, juvenile probation,
Mhm.
juvenile court. I mean, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna see if I can order one for her lobby and one for her courtroom. And I had square footage of the room, and that's how they go by, I guess, the square footage and the volume of air. And I got the square footage. I just haven't got a hold of Scott Arnell because he told me we needed to get an approval or a request from Judge Colvin, and I started that process yesterday. So we should have that in the works. Hopefully, once we get the okay from him, we'll just go in and pick up two of them. And
Okay.
it'll be a good thing for her, I think.
Okay,
All right?
thank you. Number 7, we just did number 7. Number 8, we have a 110 appointment with Bernie Lynch from Community Paradigm relative to our county director candidate search. Bernie's going to make a brief presentation. He is on. He's hooked up, I believe, and ready to go. So Bernie,
Well, thank you. Glad
Hello.
to be back with you, commissioners, and we do have a brief presentation regarding the process that we used and the 3 finalists. I'm going to, if I could, just share a brief PowerPoint that helps me stay focused, and hopefully will provide you with a little visual aid to follow along with me. So.
sure. Bill, okay, here we go.
The miracle of technology. So again,
Can everyone see that?
Yes. I can.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
so again, we were thrilled to be chosen by the board of commissioners for this assignment, and I think we've come up with some good candidates for you. But I want to walk you through, and the other members of the public that are on the call, as to how the process unfolded and then what the end result was. In terms of a search summary, the first step that we took after we were engaged by the board by the commissioners was to prepare a position profile, which I believe everyone has seen a copy of. This is what we use to recruit the candidates and then also to assess the candidates that come forward. And so in doing that, we spoke to each one of the commissioners. I had conversations throughout this whole process with Michelle and Nancy and Bill. We did spend some time talking to the outgoing or recently departed now administrator and director, and used all of that information and what you were looking for from the next director of operations for Norfolk County, and that's what's contained within the position profile. We did post the position and began our official recruitment on March 16th, right after the profile was approved by the Board of Commissioners. Started circulating that, and we basically used the Massachusetts Municipal Association website, and then started distributing it to people that we knew in the business of municipal and state management positions here in the Commonwealth. reached out to a number of the institutions of higher education that may have people that have gone through programs in public or business administration, and tried to build up as many candidates as we could receive. The deadline for applications was April 8th. We received 12 applications, and by and large, they were good applications. A couple in there were, sort of a shot in the dark type of approach, but we identified 6 really strong candidates that we felt should be interviewed by our professional panel, and I'll speak to that panel in a few moments. But in the end, we only interviewed 5, as one of the candidates, and unfortunately, it was one of our interesting candidates, had to withdraw due to some family issues. So we conducted our interviews on the 27th of April over the course of the day, and ended up with 3 finalists chosen that they'll be presenting to you in a few moments. And since that time, we've been checking out the references for these individuals. All of the individuals that were selected, are one of the strengths we think we bring to this task is we know people throughout the Commonwealth. So we have backgrounds on these candidates to start with, but we have been reaching out and talking to other people since that time, and those reference checks are ongoing. But and we're here today to refer those finalists to you. By way of background of the professional panel, it included myself. You know my background. I'm a municipal manager going for a total of some 30 years, but roughly 40 years in state and municipal government here in Massachusetts in one form or another. Jim Purcell is the former administrator of Worcester County, and he's also been a town manager in a number of locations throughout the Commonwealth, and is currently doing some interim work actually in East Bridgewater, but he was in Norton as the town administrator, out in Leicester, and several other locations here in the Commonwealth. But he brings a real understanding of county government that we felt was very, very helpful. John Petrin is another retired manager, most recently the town of Burlington, but he'd also been in Ashland and Harvard and Pepperell, and had also served as an assistant superintendent or business manager for the Marlborough school system. And then Ray Santilli is a former assistant town manager of North Andover, but also had served almost 25 years as the director of administration and finance for the Cambridge Police Department. So, all told, we have decades of experience of working in municipal government, working with state government, and working with counties either directly, as Jim has done, or indirectly, as the rest of us have done in our careers. The interview topics. This is what we really focused on, and I've sent along to Michelle actually the resumes of all of these candidates that I'm going to be presenting, as well as their cover letters, the actual questions that we use that you may want to use yourself in some form or another when you do your interviews. I've also sent along a listing of the prohibited questions that for legal purposes you should try to avoid when you're conducting your interviews. But these were the topics that we had a dialogue with each one of these 5 candidates on. One, obviously, we wanted to get a sense of their career and how they saw what they have achieved, give them a chance to make a plug for what they've experienced, they've developed over their careers. And we wanted them to explain what their interest was in working for Norfolk County, make the case for why they should be the candidate that we would move forward, or that the commissioners would select for this important role. All of them have been managers in one form or another, and managers of people and leading organizations. So we wanted to understand their style, how they interacted with staff, how they interacted with the public. We did want to get some understanding of their management of personnel and collective bargaining. So we did talk to them about that. A primary issue, as we all know, is the finances of the county. So we spent time talking to them about their financial management experience, their budget preparation experience. We spoke to them about the Abrams Group recommendations and what will be coming out and the necessity of working with the commissioners to implement those recommendations and how they would see some opportunities for revenue enhancements given the tight finances of the county. And this is it for every organization. Always has to look for new revenue opportunities to continue providing the services that are the reason that the organization exists. So we spend time talking about all of those and trying to understand what they could bring to the table with regards to that. Capital and project management, certainly, as I just heard in your meeting today, you have a number of facilities that are in need of investment. It's just the normal course of business. That's not a reflection necessarily on the county as much as any organization that has capital assets has to maintain those. So we tried to get some understanding of what experience they had in that area and what experience they had with reaching out and finding sort of tied in with financial management grant opportunities to assist with any of these capital items. Key to this particular position is experience in working with different levels of government. The municipalities that are served by Norfolk County, the regional entities that you interact with, and the interaction with state government. So someone that we were looking for someone that had that experience of working across all levels of government, and felt that was also important that someone have that network and that knowledge. Relationship building, again, key to this position, based upon what we were advised by the people we spoke to, is someone that can build relationships both internally and externally. Internally, of course, how would they see themselves functioning with the Board of Commissioners? What would be the manner in which they would work with staff and the advisory board, as well as other county officials? And then external, the communities themselves, although they're represented on the advisory board, there are also other people within those communities, most specifically the full boards of selectmen or the town managers, town administrators, other stakeholders out in the communities that they would have to interact with. And then likewise, what would be the process they would use to build relationships with state government? So these interpersonal skills were something that we felt was important to really dive into with each one of these candidates. And then somewhat related to all of that is how would they communicate? How would they collaborate with all of these levels of government, stakeholder organizations, communities, and importantly, the commissioners as the governing body for Norfolk County. And then we gave all the candidates an opportunity to question us. We answered as best we could, but clearly there'll be questions that these candidates will bring forth to you when they go through the interview process. But we felt it was also an opportunity to judge the candidates on their knowledge and their interest of Norfolk County, to ask the questions that we would then be able to judge just how much work they had done and how much they had thought about this particular position. So the finalists, we have three. The first is Michael Berry. Michael has an MPA, a Master's in Public Administration from Bridgewater State University, BA in Political Science from Merrimack College. His notable career experience, he's currently the Director of Governmental Affairs for the Group Insurance Commission. He previously served as Director of Legislative and Community Affairs and was involved in working with a variety of communities and stakeholders for the Massachusetts Department of Transportation. And prior to that, he had some direct municipal experience as the Chief of Staff to the City of Marlborough. He currently lives in Norwood, but he had lived in Walpole previously, and while living in Walpole, he had served on the Board of Selectmen, the school committee, and had been involved with some economic development initiatives there. He also is working on his procurement certification. So he's familiar with the legal requirements of procurement, which is helpful when you're in a position like the director of operations. Although you have people to do the purchasing work, have someone else that would handle the procurement for you, it's important to be able to have that understanding of what the legal requirements are. Second is John Cronin. These are put in alphabetical order, as you can clearly see that these aren't in any ranking. Just we're giving you three and saying that they're all equal and you should make your decision. But John Cronin is the second. He has his master's degree in business administration from Boston University and a BS in marine transportation from Mass Maritime. He's had a lengthy career in the area of public safety related to finance and administration. He's currently with the Massachusetts Department of Corrections. This is a relatively new position that he has assumed. It came up after he had applied for this position. So he's only been on the job there for a short period of time, waiting for this position to sort itself out. But he has a lengthy career with the Massachusetts State Police. They've done some reorganizing there and made some changes in terms of the structure, and that has resulted in his moving away from the Massachusetts State Police. But he can address that with his interview with you. But he had served as the Deputy Director of Administrative Services at the Crime Laboratory, Chief Administrative Officer of the Office of the Chief Medical Officer, and Fiscal Officer for the Fiscal Division of the overall Massachusetts State Police administration. As I say, his lengthy career in public safety with just those two organizations, but also the Executive Office of Public Safety, where he had served as the Chief Financial Officer, and as well as some other financially related functions. So again, strong in administration and finance, as you can see from the positions he's held. He's currently a resident of Holliston, and where he currently serves on the Board of Selectmen, had served as an assessor for a lengthy period of time. So he knows he knows property assessment and what gets put on the municipal recap sheet with regards to assessments of including county assessments. He'd also served on the Finance Committee. So again, you can see good local knowledge as well as strong financial, and knows his way, like Mr. Berry, around Beacon Hill. And the third candidate is Joseph Reynolds, BS in Business Administration from Eastern Nazarene College in Quincy. He previously had gone to the U.S. Army Infantry Officer School. His notable career experience, municipal related, is the town of Braintree, where he was the Chief of Staff and Director of Operations under Mayor Sullivan, and left that position when Mayor Sullivan left. Previously, he had experience with State Street Corporation and as a program manager in the IT Office of Transformation, and worked for Fidelity as in a number of positions. So he's got some good business background, finance background that ties in with his municipal experience. He'd also served on the planning board in Braintree, and I should note too that he did have a 14-year career with the National Guard that he brings as well. So he has that military experience and leadership experience through that. So those are the three candidates. As I say, we've sent on all this material. I sent this on. I keep this. Our standard practice is to keep all of this embargoed until we make this presentation to you. So it doesn't get out to the public before it hits you. So I've sent it on to Michelle, and along with the questions, the prohibited questions, and so that's what we have. And I think I'm happy to take any questions, but the next steps really are setting up a date and then setting up the process you want to use with regards to the interviews, if there's anything unique you want to try to do in that process.
Thank you, Bernie. Commissioners, any questions or comments for Bernie?
Bernie, this is Peter Collins. Nice job.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna try to. This information will be out to you today when the finalists and the listings, even if we have our Walpole flash deliver them. I haven't seen them yet, but Bernie just sent them over to us, so we will be available later today. I'd like to do this interviews. They have to be done at open session, which is fine. And if it takes more than one interview, that's fine too. But I'd like everyone to pay some attention to setting the date sooner rather than later. For a couple of reasons. We're in May. It's a very key month. It's budget month. I think we're going to be ready to go as soon as we do the interviews, and then board determines what they want to do. I don't know the particular requirements these gentlemen will have, the selected person will have it relative to when he can come aboard, but we'll find that all out in the interview process. So I'd like you to get back to Michelle as quickly as you can with the date. I think Michelle and I talked about a couple of dates. I'm not sure, Michelle, if you shared them with Commissioner Collins and Stady yet, in an effort to get this ball, keep this ball rolling. I'm very happy with the outcome here with Community Paradigm. It's a new experience for us meaning the county. I think the fact that all the references have been checked, all the other due diligence has been done is an excellent way to allow us to have an open and clear path ahead of us, but it's still, in the end, it's our choice. And this is a very key appointment. It might be the very important appointment that this board has made. However, we just chose the superintendent of the schools. Similar time frame, different process, but that's ready. We're interviewing candidates to be the county engineer / surveyor this week. So a lot of this is coming to a head, and we need to manage our calendar because May is quite a busy spot, but sooner the better as far as I'm concerned. But I'm interested in your thoughts, and then if you aren't ready to set a date today, I hope that we can have Michelle coordinate getting a date we can all live with.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Commissioner.
So first, yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bernie, nice job. Thank you for your hard work. That's
Thank you.
great to have 3 good qualified candidates. Could you be willing to share with us 2 things? That PowerPoint presentation was very helpful. Could
Sure.
I or us get a copy of that? Because that's a nice tablet to look at in terms of falling back on. That was great.
Yep.
And then also, I don't know if you already covered this, so forgive me if you did, but the background and the references for the finalists, will that be shared with us for our inspection and review?
Sure. What we can do is they are public documents, but what we can do is we can put together the summarized feedback that we've received, put that in a report to you for each one of the candidates. It'll be about a 1-pager of just bulleted information, and we can get that out to you hopefully by the end of the week.
Okay, now probably a difficult question. So again, this is all new to me, new to us. Would it make sense for us to have your rating of your internally, how you rated them? Or would you just prefer to say, here are your 3?
Actually, I prefer to say here are the 3, but I will tell you that generally speaking, there was consensus of the panel on these 3.
Okay.
It was, no, there wasn't a case where really one jumped out ahead of the others. We felt that they were all brought something a little bit different to the table that we could, but that gives the commissioners a choice.
Yeah.
What you felt is the right fit.
I mean, first glance, you look at this, they definitely have diverse backgrounds, and yet they also have a common thread of leadership and experience you know, and on a local level, which is great, but they all have different kind of approaches too, you know, which is
Right.
good. So,
Correct.
right,
Yep.
okay, that's all I had for now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, were you looking for dates from us at this meeting?
Well,
Or
if you could do it now, that'd be great, but give me a date, but if not, I'd rather yes, I could do it now. I mean, I formulate a few dates in my mind, but I want to, you know, work with both of you. We have to do it in open session, and I shared my dates with Michelle this morning, but I haven't,
okay.
you know,
I
if you
could-
look at your May calendar though, and I know it's a little different than mine, but I'm sure it's full.
It's getting
Commissioners.
very full. It's
I know.
fast. Remember,
But I
I'm
don't want to, you know,
I'm on the Aggie negotiating team too. I've got that particular
I-
job, you know, so it's filling up. But you want me to talk to Michelle tomorrow or later or?
sure, later today,
tell you-
tomorrow, and then we'll,
Never mind.
I know Commissioner Collins will look at his book, and then I'll have Michelle get back to Commissioner Collins as soon as possible.
I just want to ask you a question, Joe. Are you looking to do this maybe as part of our county commissioner meeting? No, Michelle's saying no. Okay, so a
Well,
separate,
we talked about it. I mean, I knew this was gonna be a question, but if you look at next week,
yeah,
we've got the agricultural school right after after our meeting.
right.
Uh,
Um,
and right on through, we've got something the 12th, we got something the 19th.
okay. Well, I can tell you
In
right now.
addition to commissioners,
Okay.
you know,
I mean, for now, based on what I've got going, just for the county, all right, for the county, the 20 and the 27, those are Thursdays, at least at the moment are open. I mean, if you were looking at a Thursday, her hand is up.
Chairman, may I speak?
yes, Michelle.
How does Monday, May 10th look for everybody in the afternoon?
Not good.
No. I was just thinking that we're gonna have to do a separate meeting than the commissioners meeting because we're interviewing 3 people and it's gonna be a big chunk of time. And then we would have to take the vote at the commissioners meeting the following Wednesday. So kind of think about dates that will work in a block of time for everyone. I think that's gonna be the best way to approach this.
If I may, you should probably look at about 3 hours, about an
Yes.
hour apiece.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Wait, so Michelle, I misunderstood you. Forgive me. May 10th for what? A meeting for us to talk about our own ground rules?
No, to interview the candidates in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah, that's.
Not working?
No, not, there's a lot, I can't do that one.
Okay.
That
We
whole,
can talk offline. I just wanted to I have to talk to all 3 commissioners just to see what their availability is.
okay,
So I will do that. Commissioner Stady, I left you a message earlier, but I know you're busy, so
Yeah.
call me when you're free.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll find time. It's like I've got my, I'll talk to you. We'll get it done. We'll get it done. But you want to do a 3-hour block, 3 hours off to get all the candidates at once, correct?
I think it makes sense. That way you can really compare the candidates to each other.
Okay.
Sometimes if you wait a day and a day in between, you lose some traction there, in my opinion.
Right.
Sooner the better. That's fine.
And I would agree with Michelle.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Bernie.
I can't imagine why Michelle's in a hurry to get this done, by the way, commissioners.
Yeah, that's like, wow. The day after Mother's Day, just that's her present. Let's get this done. Get rid of it.
So just clear your calendars for Monday afternoon.
Okay. Last call on County Director Search and Bernie Lynch for today. Any other points, questions?
Thank
Again, I will get you the package right out to you.
Yeah.
I'll probably deliver Peter's and see if Director Buckley can get yours over to your house, Richard, and
Thank you.
we'll go from there.
And then I'll get that reference out, this report out later this week. And Michelle, I'll send that to you. Is that the
Yes.
best? And then you can just forward that on?
Correct.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you for everything, Bernie.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Bernie.
Thank you. All right. Take care, everyone.
Nice job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 10, personnel considerations. I'm sorry, number 9, old business.
I think we have,
Michelle, do we have any old?
don't we have some bid openings at 1:30?
We do, but I haven't got there yet. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're at 1:30.
We're gonna jump to number 12. That's a good point. we're running a little 7 minutes late, but we're in good shape. Number 12, bid openings, repair and application of elastomental coating at the Norfolk County Superior Court Dome. Sub bids 1:30 PM opening. Nancy Rockwell, please.
First, I have the sub painting bids. Can you hear me?
I'm having trouble hearing. Hello?
I'm having trouble with this microphone.
Do you want to do it here, Nancy?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm having trouble with both microphones in my office.
Okay, I'll sit next to you. This was working.
Technical difficulties.
I'm right here.
Okay.
All right.
Hi. First, we have the sub bids for the painting for the Superior Court Dome. First, I have the Olson Company out of Methuen, Massachusetts. Okay, their bid bond is attached. They have acknowledged addenda 1 and 2. They have bid $628,000 for alternate 1 at $160,000. I have their update statement and certificate of eligibility and bid bond. Their bid appears to be intact. I will go through these thoroughly after the opening. Next, I have Bello Painting Company out of Weymouth, Massachusetts. They've bid $728,000. Alternate number 1, add $110,000. The sub includes addendum numbers 1 and 2. The bid bond is attached. And their certificate of eligibility and update statement are included. John W. Egan Company out of West Newton, Massachusetts. Bid bond is included. They have bid $534,920. Alternate 1, add $195,780. They've acknowledged addenda 1 and 2. Their update statement and certificate of eligibility is included. Next, I have subbids for masonry. Chapman Waterproofing out of Holbrook, Mass. They've bid $77,900. Acknowledge addendas 1 and 2. The certificate of eligibility and update statement are included, as is their bid bond. Bolin Waterproofing and Construction out of Southeastern Mass. They have bid $79,500. They acknowledge addenda 1 and 2. Bid bond is included. Their certificate of eligibility and update statement is included. Calhess Corporation out of Westwood, Massachusetts. They had bid $48,700. They've acknowledged addenda 1 and 2. The bid bond is included. Their certificate of eligibility and update statement are also included. PJ Spillane out of Everett, Mass. They have bid $68,300. Acknowledge addenda 1 and 2. They're excluded from CTA Construction Management. Their certificate of eligibility and update statement is attached, as is their bid bond. Contracting Specialists Incorporated out of Attleboro, Mass. They have bid $132,000. They've acknowledged addendas 1 and 2.
CSI.
They may be used by any general bidder except GVW. Their update statement and certificate of eligibility is included, as is their bid bond. I have Marmello Brothers Construction out of Dartmouth, Massachusetts. They've bid $204,000. They've acknowledged addendas 1 and 2. Their update statement and certificate of eligibility is attached, as is their bid bond. That is all of these. I'll thoroughly go through these again. They'll all be put on a tally sheet. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nance. Commissioners, I'd like a motion to refer this to study for, take it under advisement for a week or so. As you know, this is our important project at Superior Court, which we're trying to get done this year. I would say, I was trying to say this summer, I'll now say this year, but I'm encouraged that we got a lot more response than we did the first time. That's all I can tell you right now.
So the prices look are in the ballpark this time, Mr. Chairman, or are we still?
I haven't specifically asked Nancy that question. I think she can hear it. She's,
Okay. I mean,
We still have to wait for the general bids to, we won't have a true price until the general bids open on the 19th.
okay, we won't have a true price till the general bid opens on the 19th, but this is a significant part of it.
okay, so the motion would be to take under advisement, the bids were open this afternoon for further study and evaluation.
Right, and then when we get the 19 bids, I imagine we look at them both at the,
The general bids, the general contractors who bid the project on the 19th will choose the
Okay.
subcontractors.
okay,
They will submit one bid, which will include the selected subcontractors, which will give us a total price.
okay.
Okay,
Either way, we have to take it under advisement, but we're going in the right direction, commissioners.
all right. Do you need a motion or we just?
I think so. Why don't we just,
All right, I'll make a motion. We take the bids we just opened up for advisement, take it postponed for table action later date.
Second.
all in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. More to come on the 19th. Number 10, personnel matters for consideration. We have 2 at the registry and 1 at the Norfolk County Agricultural School.
Okay, a motion, a notice of change of address for Eugenia Sanchez of Norwood, effective April 27, 21.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Of notice of change of address of Eugenia Sanchez of Norwood at the Registry of Deeds. All in favor?
Aye.
Next.
Second one is notice of contingent employment for Rich Kennedy of Rentham as a temporary clerk at the rate stated effective 6/1/21.
Yeah, I want to jump in on this, if I may. Is that okay?
Certainly.
All right, so we've all known Richie for decades. He's a wonderful person. We all like him. We know he did a terrific job at the registry. The only concern I had was he would be back receiving contingent employment as a temp clerk while we're still paying him out. And I actually reached out to Michelle before the meeting to have her reach out to our Labor Council to make sure that we could do this. And the Labor Council said that we could. So I just wanted to explain that all to you. I have no problem with Rich. I just wanted to make sure we were doing it right.
That's a good question, Peter. Thank you for raising it. Richie is well-known, well-liked by everybody, and I'm sure there's a reason he wants to come back, and also probably why Billy needs him. But I would endorse the motion to put him back in temporarily.
Michelle, I have a quick question. What is the date of Richard's retirement? I know it was
March 26th.
March 26th. And when all county employees retire, we have, in most cases, they're owed money based on unused sick and vacation, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, so his
know we
payout
had-
would, yep,
We went through this with the county engineer recently, and quite frankly, everyone.
correct.
We look at it. Depending on the department, it appears some departments don't budget for these contingencies, and we can't fill a position until we raise the money, or until we accrue enough money back into it. Well, so i.e. some positions remain unfilled. This didn't happen at the registry, correct?
Correct. In most cases, we wait till the payout concludes before we put someone in that line item.
So there is
Raise
a
them to
first
that.
assistant and the second, well, and then because the second assistant moved up, which we approved.
Correct.
Okay, I don't have any other questions.
Can I ask a quick question? Just for all know.
Sure, absolutely.
Anything in the statute for county employees, Michelle, that you would know? This is for you, Mr. Chairman. If a person retires, is there a certain period of time they have to wait before they can come back to work even part-time? Is it, you know of, statutorily, or is it, you know what I mean?
There is actually a document. They can't make a certain amount of money at a certain time frame, and that when they retire through Norfolk County Retirement Board shares that with them prior to retiring, so they know exactly what they can and can't do.
So Rich would know he's probably limited how much he can make before it affects the pension or whatever, and that kind of thing, right? You know?
Right, and I have the document I can share with all three commissioners if you'd like it, so you know what that
Okay.
is.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Okay,
You're
so
welcome.
we have a motion, Mr. Chairman, that was moved, I believe.
Motion made and seconded to grant the contingent employment of Richard F. Kennedy of Rentham, Mass. as a temporary clerk effective 6/1/21 at the Registry of Deeds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, that's unanimous. Thank you. Agricultural School.
Notice of resignation for Francis Fisher of Walpole, Mass. as a custodian, effective 5/7/21.
Second.
I have a question. This isn't about Francis Fisher, but do you know off the top of your head, Michelle, how long Francis Fisher's worked for us?
Not as long as I've been here, and I haven't been here that long.
Okay, so he doesn't have a 20 or 30-year career.
No, he doesn't, no.
Like so he doesn't get unfortunately for him, a big payout or anything, which
No,
they
I was
deserve.
here when he came in, so. not
Okay,
that long.
all right, okay, all right. No problem. Motion made and seconded to accept the resignation of Francis Fisher of Walpole as a custodian in Norfolk Aggie. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you very much. Number 11, payroll and expense warrants for approval.
Right, I've got them if you want. Move them.
Commissioner Stady.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I'll move county payroll 21-44 in the amount of $134,306.05.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
I'll move
Thank you.
school payroll 21-44 in the amount of $331,822.72.
Second.
All in favor? Aye,
Aye.
unanimous. Number 3,
I'll move Wollaston Recreational Facility credit card payment of 5/3/21 in the amount of $31,460.
Second.
all in favor? Aye,
Aye.
that's unanimous.
And
Number
last-
4, Richard.
I'll move the expense of the county dated 5/1/21 in the amount of $72,820.48.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor? Aye, it
Aye.
is unanimous. Number 11, we did the bid openings. Number 12, we have no contract awards today. Number 13, I mean, no contract awards. Number 14, report from Assistant Director Buckley on the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 and a legislative update. Bill,
Hi, through you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon,
Yes.
Commissioners. Somebody let Dr. Quinn in. She's in the waiting room. I believe we all read the Globe, so there was an op-ed from the Globe, which I sent to Commissioners probably about 2 hours ago, regarding the Globe's contention that the county should not take any of the CARES Act money and should send directly to let me just mute that over here. Troublingly, spoke with Plymouth County Treasurer Tom O'Brien, and there were a number of just structural inaccuracies with the story as far as the percentages of funds distributed by the county of Plymouth. Plymouth County has distributed half of their funds now. It said it had only distributed a quarter. Their overhead was only 1%. They had cited articles from March of last year before Plymouth County chose to take the funds. So little misleading. We'll leave it at that. But that's something that should be on the commissioner's radar. But we also, in your packet, you can see that we have received a number of communications from the towns of Stoughton, Canton, as well. We anticipate those to continue. They're just there for informational purposes. And that's all we really have. I know Commissioner Shea, Chairman Shea did ask me probably 10 minutes before the meeting began to look at, there was a question about distribution by population and what actual metric, and I believe the mayor raised the question of Quincy, what actual metric would it be? The census metric of this current decennial census that we're about to begin with, that new data numbers, or are they older numbers? And I did some reading, and even on the Senate Democrats page, which had the bill summary, it said they could use either and to wait for the guidelines. So it's yet again another piece that's up in the air. So even the MMA data, which we have received, is tentative at best. So no news this week. I think we'll have a lot of news probably next Monday. Looking at the 2-month anniversary of the bill signing is May 11th, which will be next Tuesday. So we continue to work with Nancy Rockwell and Joe Dioria to try to make sure our house is in order to receive the funds, to make sure our federal reporting software is in order, which is a kind of an online portal, much like going to the bank and having their online software as well. So we continue to do that. We will alert you the moment we hear of guidelines or fund disbursement, and we'll continue to dialogue with our constituent communities. I can, if the commissioners would like, I did send a pretty extensive budget update with kind of unpacking of how the state budgets deliberations as within the House affected the county. That was in your packet. I can go over that if you'd like, or you could just keep that for information. It's really kind of the pleasure of the board. But we're working closely with our constituent communities and our friends in the Senate as we continue to follow the multifaceted process of the state budget as well.
I think it's good to have it in our packet, but I'm not sure until we can get something more definitive that we need to look
Absolutely.
at today. But as you get it, we get it, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and the question about the distribution of the money, should it go to the cities and towns, is because of my prior career, I'm sometimes too familiar with the federal census, and the federal census, we all know, is late coming out this year. And I know that the city and town clerks and boards of registrars are going to be under the gun because redistricting is supposedly have to be done and submitted to the state by September for changes in the rep, Senate, Governor's Council, US Congress seats,
Wow.
all by the 22 election.
Jeez.
There is, the governor and the secretary appoint a commission that each city and town goes in and sits before. I've done it many times, 4 times. I'm somewhat involved this year also on the city of Quincy's submission. Nobody has their figures yet. We're meeting with the clerks are meeting with the staff at Secretary Galvin's office because they know they're under the gun. But until they give the figures, it's going to be very difficult to balance and re-precinct, which everyone has to do, and we're not here to get into redistricting. But the county boundaries aren't going to change. So
That's good.
it made me wonder what figures this money is, would they come up with a figure of, depending who, what document you read, $290 a person or something, that's how they figured it. And nowhere have we got any instructions of telling us. So if tomorrow we gave the town of Medway some money based on their population, what population we use, and everyone else. So that's the only reason I brought it up, because you know what's gonna happen when it comes, it's gonna come quick, and we're gonna make some decisions very, very fast. It may not come in a manner that we won't have to have a special meeting just to determine whether to take it or not, or that some action is gonna be needed by this board. And then, if you're gonna redistribute or pass it through, which is a term they use a lot, how, we need some guidance on what the figures are, but it goes without saying, but our letter help that we sent out, we are getting more and more towns, and thanks, Bill, for putting those letters. I read them this morning from our friends in Canton, Stoughton. I think Millis is in here and one others. And in my travels, I do like the other commissioners, speak to various town managers, selectmen, et cetera, about it. And everyone seems to be still understanding, but who knows? I'd love to know. That's why I said May is getting to be quite a month. I don't want to talk any more about
Mr. Chairman, if I may?
it. Yes.
Yeah, politely, just a couple of things. Just for the record, Bill,
Mhm.
the money has not come in yet, correct?
Correct.
Yes or no? Okay,
Correct.
so that will lead to my comment, and I'll make it as brief as I can. I had to attend a funeral this morning for a retired Canton firefighter, long family and well-known family. And so I got my packet and I looked at it and I saw the resolution from my dear beloved town, which caught me a little off guard. Long story short, I will tell you, I had a long conversation with the chairman of the board, who is also a representative to the county advisory board. And I basically was trying to sort out, I understand the town's concerns. All of us are hearing that, Mr. Chairman. All of
Oh,
us
yeah.
know. All of us know our towns want the money. But I think there's a lot of misinformation out there with the Globe and legislators. And basically, I think last week we saw there's the Norfolk County managers, which we created, who are having concerns, understandably. And now what I'm finding out, sort of indirectly, is this may have stemmed from the financial officer. And there's a group of them who meet and they organize, and they have a right and a concern about the money, which makes sense. And they're trying to put pressure on their own board to put pressure on us to give them the money. It kind of makes sense if you follow the money. They're all looking for the money because they want to balance their budgets and get the money so they can put it in place for their budgets in the following year. And all of that, I completely understand. And we all do. I think we all do. But the problem I'm trying to tell, as I told my good friend, Mr. Conley, and others, is try to just be a little patience. We haven't got the rules yet, and we have got no money. Somehow out there is this idea that we have just got this money in a vault and we're going to keep it and we're not going to share it. And that's the last thing in the world we all want to do. I mean, what we want to do is it comes to us, we want to do it the right way, oversee it the right way, and spend it the right way. But it's a tough battle, and it's getting harder each week, as you see more and more letters and people like that. So whatever we can do, be by a virtue of our meetings or memos or letters or phone calls, whatever we can do collectively, all of us, to get out there that, yeah, we're working on this and we're going to be open and transparent, and whatever we can do, we can do. But that said, again, I disagree with that Globe editorial, and I firmly believe that there is a place for the money for our county operations. Certainly, when we look at our Aggie school and the children and the staff and the buildings, there's got to be a place that some of that money, we deserve it, just as any school in any part of our district. And when you look at our veterans, there may be a way we could use some of that money to help our veterans agent and places like that. That doesn't mean we're going to use $130 million, right? I mean, loud and clear, we're not going to do that. But the letters that we're getting, these resolutions, it's mind baffling. That's all. I shared my frustration We understood each other, at least when we left the conversation this morning. But I mean, that was a one-on-one thing. And I don't know if we have to do that with every single town or it's what's happening here. But at least we know where we're going. And hopefully we'll get this worked out soon. Right now, I want to call it the American Disaster Plan, not the American Rescue Plan, because there's no clear rules. Yeah, we keep every week, Bill, it's not your fault. We get the same story, So anyway.
I think to your point, a very important one. 2024 is when this money needs to be spent by.
Yeah.
2024, and
Right.
that's a very important thing to talk about. And I think the conversation we had this morning was imperative. I know Chairman Shea has had conversations with Mike Boynton that was very productive as well. And I think the question you sort of asked is, are we going to need to have all these sites? I think we are. And I think we're ready to do that. I'm ready to do that. We have been doing that. And I believe many of the constituent communities in Norfolk County are approaching this in a different way. Medway, Mike Boynton has been very measured and has said just what you said. Guys, the money's not even here yet.
Right.
All breathe.
Yeah.
And I mean, not to pile on, but let's not forget the CARES Act portion of federal relief in a previous iteration. The state took 10% off the top for administration, and
Right.
Plymouth County took 1% off the top. So perhaps the managers will all come to us 3 months from now when they find out that number that the MMA produced is not what they think it is, but is 10% less, and say, actually, you guys have to take it, and we want to help you, and we want you to administer it for less.
Yeah.
That's a very possible thing. So there's so much fluidity. I just think the commissioners, all three of you, have done a strong job being accessible and open about not the speculation of this, but the reality of this and where we are right now, and we're being very honest with our communities, and we're getting back to everyone. And I think that's all that can be asked for at a staff level, at an elected level. I think everyone on our side is acting in good faith and trying to do what's best for the over 700,000 people who live in the county of President. So stay tuned, as one of my school committee colleagues would say, and we'll hope. I bet you my update on next Wednesday will be much more in depth, and I'll probably have not slept from reading 300 pages of federal guidelines. But
Well, we know you pull all nighters with getting those reports at 3 a.m.
hey,
You're
brings me back to my graduate school
man after
days.
my own heart.
I know, right?
You get more work done You get more work done at 3 a.m. That's the thing.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
Commissioner.
number 15. Vacation carryover requests,
Yeah.
letters. Director Labadini, please. I'm looking for my letters here.
You should have 4. We received 4 vacation carryover requests.
Okay, I got them. One's dated April 26th. There are one the 29th. 2 the 29th and 3 the 29th. All managers are non-union employees. Generally speaking, one is a little different than the other 3 because there was recent fall and injury involved. Person couldn't take their scheduled vacation, which was all scheduled and ready to go. The other 3 are talking about the unprecedented hardships caused by COVID-19, which created the state of emergency, and their maintenance employees that pretty much speak for themselves. When we did adopt our new policy recently, we put the caveat in there that special individual employees that had special requests could come to the commissioner. I assume these 4 are along the same lines. Michelle, is this safe to say?
Yes. Mhm.
I mean, this is a subject that's been, we've been wrestling with. These 4 are terrific employees, as all our employees are. And they were hit hard by COVID, and another one recently had an injury and is out sick and wants to protect the days because she had already put in for the days because she had uh, a trip bought and paid for, which we don't need to get into the trip, but I think she fell the week, 2 days before her trip. So each circumstance is different, and we want to review them and see if we can't come to some resolution. Now, if we can't do it today, I want you to take it under advisement and we'll look at it. Do you have any other comments, Michelle?
Not about this, no.
Okay,
All right, I'll make a motion. We take it under advisement for next week.
okay. Do we have a second?
Sure, second.
Okay, on the matter of 4 carryover letters received from various non-union employees relative to carrying over sick or vacation time, motion made and seconded to study it and put it on next week's agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Next. Report of the county director. Michelle, please.
Commissioner and Chairman, before I start, did you want to review the letter for the golf tournament?
Oh, yes.
Thank
I
you.
was gonna do that, but that's all right. Commissioners, I received today a letter from the Quincy Firefighters Association Local 792 about their 6th annual John T. Austin Memorial Golf Tournament, Monday, June 21st at the President's Golf Course. All of this for the last 6 years has been held at Wollaston. John Austin lost his life 6 or 7 years ago responding from his firehouse to an incident in Quincy, and it's kind of a very successful fundraiser. They provided 22 scholarships in John Austin's name, totaling over $22,000, plus donations to various Quincy, the Marine Corps League, Quincy Youth Football, and North Quincy and Quincy High Alumni Association. They're looking for the tournament rate, or I forget the term, we make it the civic rate, the government rate. And I have brought this in the past 5 years, and they're looking for our permission so they can set the price. Pretty standard stuff, but I just got the letter today, so I'd like to get rid of it. I need like a motion.
What's that give, like, Mr. Chairman, if I may, is that give like a reduced fee? 'Cause
Yeah,
we-
we have 4 or 5 of these a year.
Yeah,
I can tell you right now, youth hockey gets it, St. Godhard Church, they'll be coming in. But
Okay.
this just came today, and I'd like to
no, sounds like a great cause.
get it off my plate.
All right, I'll move that we grant the Quincy firefighters for the use of the Wollaston Golf Course for the tournament at the tournament rate, or whatever is the appropriate terminology.
I'll second the motion, but I want to make it subject to Carl and Dana signing off on it. I want to make sure it meets with their schedule.
Correct, I should have said that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe they know, but we're gonna double check it because it's already in the book there for June 21st, but they need to be notified the rate.
Yes, Kyle confirmed it this morning, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. On the matter of the Quincy firefighters 792 local union running the John Austin fundraiser for Quincy firefighters, they'll get the civic rate. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. We're not ready for German yet. Do you have anything else, Michelle?
Yes, just a few things, Chairman. I just want to update you on the veteran services. The Dale Kurtz met with the town of Avon. He met with the town of Franklin and Norfolk regarding veteran services. He brought it up to the commissioners recently. And he's on the call in case if he has anything to add, but I just wanted to let you know that this meeting did take place on Monday. The possible linking of veteran services for the towns was discussed. This most probably will not take place in FY22, but the towns will continue discussions about consolidating services. The cost of services was also discussed with both towns, and they're aware of the cost of benefits and salary for veteran services with Norfolk County. Okay, do you have any questions?
So that
Any
was the
questions?
follow-up. Was that the follow-up on Norfolk, or is that another one? Maybe two.
That was a follow-up with Norfolk and Franklin.
Okay, so probably gonna happen, you're saying not this year? You're gonna put it off? Or,
That's what Dale Kurtz had reported after the meeting, that it's most probably not going to happen in FY22.
okay, all right.
Okay, but we'll continue to keep an eye on it. Dale does a good job, of course.
Sure.
Yes, I'm sure it'll be part of Dale's updates in the future when he has something to report.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
Yes, court rental audit is underway. Phil has been working with the auditor and should conclude by the end of next week. So I just wanted to let you know that. And
It's on time and where it should be, correct?
Phil,
Phil, can you hear us? I know you're there. Phil, we're on time with the court audit, right? Everything's
Yeah.
good,
You
okay.
got a thumbs up.
Thumbs up, okay. We haven't heard anything, so I'm assuming Phil knows, he does it every year, so.
perfect. Okay, and then in the golf course, we received a resignation today from an employee that's been there, I think, close to 11 years. So the assistant superintendent has resigned at the golf course.
So we need to post that and proceed, so it's in the future.
That's correct.
And we need to post it in-house first?
No, we don't. That's not a union position.
Oh, okay, but we do. We don't, but we do, right? How do we post it?
We'll post it, well, usually Carl and Dale will take care of that because they have all, they're affiliated with golf courses and postings.
Okay,
So they'll take care of the posting.
all right, now what
We'll
if,
post it in our building as well, but they usually take care of the postings because of
okay, all right.
the nature of the business.
So there's no one next in line to speak, but if there is, they can come in and apply for it.
Correct.
Okay,
I don't know if there's anyone, but it will be open to internal candidates as well, if there's anyone qualified.
okay,
So
Anything
then,
else?
I
Yep,
just
go
wanted
ahead.
to update you that we did get the registry, March registry checks, fee checks. And I did get a nice explanation from Joe Dioria on this. 2 days through March 2021, the March registry fees collected are 125.65% of budgeted, which is $589,916 over budgeted. We're still 3 months to go in the fiscal year. And then combine that with the $861,496.35 to the good. So by the end of the year combined, we may be looking at close to a $2 million in receipts over budgeted. Assuming other receipts all hit targets, 1 million still outstanding for court rental. Wallaston is only at 51% at the end of March. Interest is at 22% and county taxes at 60%. At the end of March, all general fund receipts combined, we've collected 84% of budgeted. We're at 9 months, which is 75%, which would be the target of where we would want to end in March. So overall, we're up by 9%. So I just wanted to share those figures with everyone.
Good news. That's great.
And
we
then,
like good news.
Great. That's good. That's
and in
good.
conclusion, I would like to thank everyone, especially in the treasurer's office and the county director's administration office. I mean, everyone's really been assisting me and Bill to really get things resolved in a timely manner. I'd like to also thank Michael Mullen. He has been a huge help to me since he's left, and I just wanted to acknowledge that. And additionally, the RSVP department has gone above and beyond, helping us with tasks just to keep us on target. And I just want to make sure everyone knows I really appreciate everyone stepping up. So thank you, everyone. And that's all I have, Chairman.
Through you,
Okay.
Mr. Chair, just a couple of additional items right before we close out.
Go ahead.
Just want to draw your attention to, there's a 6 p.m. Finance Committee meeting tonight. Chairman Reardon has called to meet with the Aggie Allies. So I will be sending the Zoom link if commissioners want to join that. I sent it last evening, but just I want to make sure I didn't want to confuse the two Zoom links for you. And they will also be taking the responses to Mr. Polito's letter under advisement. And after the meeting, we will send it out to the full advisory board, our responses. So that's their timeline currently. And we'll, after that meeting, we'll advise you on any other finance committee meetings that are set between now and the next CAB meeting of the 19th.
So Mr. Chairman, so that meeting's the FinCom meeting. That's not our meeting.
Correct. But should
Not
you-
our meeting, but
yeah,
if I may, I don't, we did post it in case more than one of us show up and we're covered.
Okay, I see. I
We
see.
posted it both for the agricultural board and for us.
Okay, I see.
But it is a meeting of the advisory board Finance Committee.
Yeah, it's a quorum advisory that no deliberation will take place, but quorum could be present. The last one we did was for swearing in.
Was the, I know we worked on this a little bit, the response to Member Polito's concerns. Was that the finished response, or is that still in draft form? I couldn't quite tell, and I wanted to talk about that earlier, but is that?
We've yeah, that is what we're sending. The documents we sent out is what we sent to the Finance Committee.
Okay.
From
It was a slight, maybe one kind of correction that maybe we should look at, but it's
Sure.
not, I think there was something having to do with the chronology in terms of maintenance wasn't perhaps as accurate as I thought it went down. I don't have the thing in front of me, but
Okay.
I know that Mr. McGowan had offered, the way he did it was he offered to eliminate that nighttime position. And he had hoped to get 2 daytime people. And we went through all this. And then basically he was given 1. And then that money was used, as we said, to offset a deficit somewhere else. So that the answer to Mr. Polito, it looked like it said he willingly cut his budget 87,000. I don't think that's totally accurate. I don't think it is. I think it should be rephrased a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think we had that discussion and we went through it. I don't know why it's being brought up again, because it was all in a meeting and openly
Right.
discussed, but, and I'm not trying to revisit it. I'm not. I'm just saying the chronology, he cut the nighttime position to try to create 2 days. And what happened was he lost 1 day and he was fine with it. In the end, he said he was fine, but I don't think he willingly cut his budget $90,000. I don't think that's not really accurate. And the other thing was, I'm curious, and some of the other questions raised by the member, but I guess we have to address them all because some of them were covered, in our budget hearing, and some of them we addressed in our budget hearing. But I suppose we have to point by point have to answer them. So
Yeah.
But anyway.
Just as a point of clarification, Commissioner Stady,
Yeah.
regarding what you had just said about the position that was cut and the request to fill 2 positions.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough money to fill those 2 positions because you have to think about benefits. And so those line items, that salary line item for those 2 positions does not include in benefits. Benefits are above that salary line item.
No,
So
I
if you-
understand that. No, that all.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that.
I'm not trying to be contrary. I'm not. I know that was what came out in terms of benefits and we discussed it and all that. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to revisit it. I'm just saying, I think the way it's portrayed is that Mr. McGowan cut a position willingly. And then, I don't know, I think there was a little more to it. That's all. But I don't know, maybe you can phrase it differently, but I don't think he really, the way it's said in his response to Mr. Polito, it just says the department had cut $87,000 from his budget. I don't know. I'm not sure he did that, but.
Right. And the question that Mr. Polito asked is why the commission, when the commissioners decided to cut that position, when did they have a conversation with the department head?
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's right.
So that's not accurate.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So it's,
It's tricky.
yes.
I'm not trying to be.
No, I know. I'm just trying to explain because everyone's listening. I just want to make sure that we're all know both sides of this.
Right.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm listening.
Thanks, John.
Someday we're gonna get your face on this, John.
We got to put that whip away. That horse is dead.
Yeah, I'm trying, John. I'm trying.
No, what I did was, we wanted, we've spoke about this many a time.
Right.
Well, I was looking for 2 positions, which I didn't get. I got 1. I'm happy with 1. And that's about it. I mean, I tried to get 2 and it's not the proper time to do it, I guess.
Right.
So, we'll fill that position when we are more able to, and I have no problem with it.
Right.
I told that to Mr. Polito too.
I think
I don't understand. I know what he's talking about. He's thinking I originally wanted 2 positions, and I only got 1. So he's saying, from what I'm hearing, his question was I eliminated 3,000 or whatever it was. Originally I did, but it wasn't filled. So I mean, so you're only eliminating one position, which is 40-something thousand. But I mean, it's still, that position's gone and I have one, so I'm happy.
If you're happy, we're happy. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned to you before, that I have other positions that are gonna need to be filled, and you're gonna have to make decisions on those around, on the new budget, on July 1st. I believe I have one person leaving, and there's a few other ones that are in the air, health-wise, have health issues. They might be retiring too.
Did you post?
So, I mean, these are decisions that are gonna be made
Did you post that
in
position?
July.
Did you-
Yeah, other positions, yeah.
Did Mr. Gore come back, by the way? Did he return?
Did.
Yes,
Okay.
he did.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Commissioner
Right,
Stady.
there you go.
Yeah.
I couldn't resist. All right, great.
All right,
Last
I have
call.
them out
anything
here in
else?
Dedham,
okay.
Great,
or I can watch them.
All right,
okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay,
Prior to adjourning, I'd like to mention that I'd like to adjourn this meeting. According to Commissioner Collins' motion, in memory of James Joseph Armstrong Jr. of West Walpole, who recently passed away. He was a longtime Registry of Deeds employee. So
oh,
remember Jim Armstrong when you think of today's meeting.
before we do adjourn really quick, Mr. Chairman, just again, I know at that meeting of the advisory board, Mr. Connor had said they wanted to have a deep dive and meet with us several times. I know on my calendar, I have Norfolk County Advisory Board meeting on the 19th, correct? I know that. Okay,
That's still there.
okay,
As of this morning, I talked to him, yes.
okay, as far as I know. And then the 12th, we always have our meeting ourselves and the Aggie Board of Trustees. Is there any meeting with the advisory board planned between now and the 19th, other
May
than tonight?
12th. May
The,
12th.
the finance committee is gonna join you in the meeting of the trustees.
Okay,
So
that
they
will
just,
be
yeah, so you're gonna be there anyhow,
at the trustees or at the commissioners
at the trustees
on the 12th?
on the 12th.
Okay, thank you. That's what I was trying to put in. Okay.
Yeah.
We're trying to put them together.
And that's the first time they've ever met with the
Okay.
trustees, which is
Okay,
nice.
that's what I was wondering about. All right, thank you.
And
All right, and then
Commissioner
we get-
Stady, we added another date as a placeholder on June 10th.
Yes.
Just
Is
want to
that-
make sure you know about that meeting as well.
Hopefully, we won't need to use it, but it's there.
June 10th for county?
Advisory Board,
Okay,
Zoo
thank you.
in North, and the Aggie supplemental budget for FY 21 and the closeout of FY 21.
Okay. All right,
And the capital budget of FY 22.
I'll get back to you as you wanted after the meeting. You said to
Yes.
call you, and we can talk about some dates to get the candidates into. And you're interviewing Friday, the engineers, correct?
Correct.
Right.
They're already scheduled, yes.
Great.
All right, I'm sorry, I have to jump. I have to go pick up my son at school.
All set. We're
Okay,
good.
we're in good
Almost made
shape,
it.
Commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care,
Motion
everyone.
made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you at 6.